Uh, Good evening, everyone. He led the UN Habitat Nepal office from 1999 to 2010 to 2021. He is currently the Vice President of Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology. He also serves as the advisor to the Lalitpur Metropolitan City Office. In the same capacity as the advisor to the city office, he was active in the 2000s to the Kathmandu Metropolitan City Office. Prior to which, he also served as an associate professor at the Pulsog Institute of Engineering, Tribhuvan University, Nepal's oldest and probably the largest public university, going by the number of students enrolled to the university. I often refer to PSR's words and wisdom to untangle many issues that surround us in the city. Like I said, he is as much of a practitioner as he is a bearer of knowledge. He has also, in the past, been an active member of, or in the common parlance, protesters in one or two critical movements that has shaped the trajectory of Nepal's tryst with democracy. In the most recent times, it's been a year perhaps, he's produced this fabulous book called HaP Pranali, which in English loosely translates into traditional water system, of which we might touch upon as we go along. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the mic to you, and off we go. Thanks.
Thank you, Sabinji. And thank you so very much for inviting me to this presentation here. This is not what I learned in the university, nor I have studied there or read in books. It's most of the things are my experience, like yours, that when you walk in the street, what you see, and that is what I try to just reflect what I understood from that. Try to experience my sharing, my understanding with you. So not necessarily what I'm saying here is perfectly correct, but that is my observation, how these cities has grown and how these cities could be managed. The could be managed will be a little bit less in my presentation. Mostly I'm trying to reflect how these towns were developed and what were the purposes and how it is managed, and at the end I'll also try to touch upon little bit on what are the more needed things in coming days in the present context. So as Sabinji said, that I'll be speaking in English, but in the meantime there are several things that maybe I'll be more clearer in Nepali, right? So I'll be changing the things, so please bear with me. Well, he said that I used to be an associate professor, I used to be a teacher in Institute of Engineering, so I don't feel comfortable sitting here and talking with you like this. I'm not a storyteller. So I will rather stand up and try to explain the things along with the slides, with your permission. Thank you. Well, this is actually, these slides, actually I prepared long time back. I was working on, when we are talking about sustainable cities, what kind of cities could be sustainable? To be a sustainable city, or in other words, somebody, we also like to call it an eco-city, then how that eco-city dimensions are there compared to what we have in these Newar towns. So that is what I'm trying to explain here. So several of those slides are more with this sustainable cities concept. So let me start with three basic areas or components of our sustainable cities, what would be the strategic framework? One is definitely a livable city. A livable city, which is more about the place and people living there, the spatial dimension. That is what I'll be discussing. And second is a responsible city. How responsible are we with the environment, with the ecosystem that we are living in, the ecological aspect of it, and the place-making, the process dimension, and the third one is the participatory dimension or the governance dimension, that is how making it vibrant. We all enjoy festivals, festivities. You know, every time there are so many things happening in the streets, but have they something to do with the city management? That is what the part I'm trying to explore, the way the city that we observe, that we enjoy, that we live in. So that is what would be in my presentation. I'll be talking a little bit more on, being a civil engineer, more in that more on these spatial dimensions and also on governance dimension, little bit on this process dimension because of the time. Well, when we talk about Kathmandu Valley, many of my friends has already seen this, so please bear with me. There are many repetitions. That is, if you see the historical development of this Kathmandu Valley, Nepal Mandal, how we call it, is we have got a history of Kirats, Lichavis, Mallas. Even before Kirat, there were Mahishpal, Gopal Bangsa, and etc. Those were there, but we are more talking about then after. And when we see this, Kathmandu Valley is very, very old city or old town, how you like to call it. Cities of Kathmandu Valley emerged as a Kirat settlements, and that was flourished by the Lichavis, and it was more very expanded, and it was more developed during the Malla period. So that is what we see during this course of history. We see the Kathmandu Valley has developed. And the name of Kathmandu Valley actually is Nepal, which was borrowed later to name the whole country. So in earlier days, when I was a kid, even people from the mountains, they will say that, well, I'm going to go to Nepal. So meaning going to go to Kathmandu. And why this Kathmandu Valley is so much important, why that civilization flourished here. The economic dimension, if you see, there are two major dimensions. One is the Indo-Tibet trade. Until 1930s, 80% of the trade of Tibet was controlled by Kathmandu Valley. From here, we are controlling that. But after when the Britishers built this Kalimpong road to reach to Tibet, then we lose all. Even if you go to Sanku, nowadays you will find a post where they used to tie the mules to carry away all those goods from Kathmandu Valley. So that was the one of the economic base, and the second one is very, very fertile soil of Kathmandu. The soil is so fertile. Now, once in my master's study, I was looking into what is the fertility, and at that time, it is in the 90s, early 90s, and they said that, just the paddy, if you take the case of paddy, it is 2 tons per hectare is the average production rate in Nepal on those days in the 90s, early 90s. And at that time, without even irrigation, the production rate of Kathmandu Valley is 7 tons per hectare. That will just give you the example how fertile the soil is. Because of that, all this wealth is created, and the whole civilization is built here in Kathmandu Valley. So these are the trade routes. Well, if you see the towns, I will give examples of here and there. This is Kathmandu, the city of Kathmandu. That is, in the 9th century, this settlement took a real kind of formal shape, and they believe that it was developed as the shape of a, what you call, khadga. How you call it in khadga in English? It's not sword. So there's some other words, but it's similar to sword. It's a sword of what you call Mahalakshmi. So, and they have 33 tolls or the neighborhoods surrounded like this, and that is how this was built, reorganized. But if you see in 11th or 12th century. But before that, this town is much before that. Now they have already, the historians, the archaeologists has already confirmed that Kastamandap was built in 7th century, at least in 7th century. That means the settlement was much before there. It was there. So, and it was something like that when the towns were developed. This was the stretch. Here is to be Lagan. For the Nepali colleagues, they will know that. Lagan. And here is what you call Wanga, meaning Indrachok. And here is Jamal. And they have just, this is trade route. And later on, this was developed. And it was developed like during the Malla period, it was with a gridiron pattern. All roads were added. And that is how the city was expanded. This is how the cities were developed. And it is not only Kathmandu, Patan and Bhaktapur. There are more than 4 dozens of small towns, satellite towns that is surrounded, that is incorporated into into Kathmandu Valley, including Banepa, Dhulikhel and Nala, Panoti, etc. So, but these towns are, when they develop these towns are not, they could have expanded. Just I just want to give you example of Patan. Patan ends in the south at Lagankhel. We all know, right? We could have extended that. Now we have extended, it has already reached Chapagaon. The extension is Chapagaon. They could have done that at the time, but they didn't. Wisely, they didn't do that. And what they did was, instead of that, they migrated, they bring additional population to another town. And that is how they developed these satellite towns. For example, the Kirtipur, if you go to Kirtipur, they will trace their history back to Hanigaon. So from Hanigaon, people migrated to Kirtipur instead of expanding that. And instead of Lalitpur expanding, there are many people, almost half of the population in Thimi are migrated from Patan, right? Or it's in Bode, it is from Bhaktapur. Like that, if you see, if you go through those settlements, you see that they want to have a particular size of population that is manageable. Otherwise, they create another town, rather than the way as the amiable growth of Kathmandu Valley. That is what we see nowadays. So the town planning concept of the Newars at that time it's more with the ecological limits, and it's a progression to progress, the quest for progress. That based on that, they have developed this town plans. The concept is mainly on towns in medieval time were understood as a representation of micro-universe, meaning that universe where you have everything there itself. You don't have to rely on others. That is the concept of the town planning. So every township, wherever you go, one way or other, they are relied on themselves. So that was one of the concept. And they try to follow the mandala pattern to some extent. At least in the conceptually, all town plans are developed in a mandala pattern. I will explain you a little bit more later. And then from the ecological viewpoint, there are 3 concentric circles are there to develop these towns. One is the human domain, where the centrally the cluster of people, like in Patan, in Bhaktapur, in any of the Newar towns, you will see that. And human domain is there. It is surrounded by agriculture domain, and human domain is always in a higher elevation. Agriculture domain, and it is again surrounded by natural domain or divine domain. So this is how towns are developed. And if you see in a cross section, this is what you see: the human settlement here and agricultural land in the surrounding, and you have got the forest and other natural resources there. And so it is obviously guided by the resource conservation approach. We call the tar land, the elevated land, where the settlement is, whereas the fertile soil land is left for agricultural purpose. And they have it is also because to protect it from the flood and landslide type of things. So they would like to have the settlement up there. And the protection, that is also strategically, and again, from the military, against their enemies, they would also like to have, stay there, live there in the higher elevation. And that is why these are clustered settlements. When you have got a clustered settlements, meaning that you have to live closer to each other, definitely there is a new dimension. Qualitative changes are there. So what are those qualitative changes? And that is what I said, that making the placemaking is happening. And to make it vibrant, then we add other governance factors. So few of them I will just try to point out here. The integration of private and public interest for common benefits. This is the most important thing. You live in community, but you have got private things to be done. What is the demarcation between private and public? That is very much important. We don't know. It's nowadays what we say is, in my Lal Puja, in my ownership certificate, what is I have got Charana land, and meaning that this much of land, and that is mine. No, in those days, that is not true. They have public, in terms of private, within private they have got public things also. So for effective and efficient resource management, these private interests are sacrificed for communal belief. Have you ever seen in other cities? I have never seen, but here this is the property of a person, but this road, this walkway going through is public. You can't claim. You have got the Lal Puja, you have got the ownership certificate of the whole land, but still this is public, right? And this is the front of this house, this is actually private land, but they are so happy to donate that to make it public, to make a party, right? Nowadays, it doesn't happen. They would like to have a shutter on the shops there, but that is how, or saga, if you see. These are the thing. And just to mention 2 or 3 words here, these lands are again multiple use in a temporal basis. In a day at time, in a single day, in 24 hours, the purpose is different, the use is different. And similarly, just try to explain 2 or 3 words here. Gola, Dranga and Pringa, these are the term from Kirat time. This is not Sanskrit, this is more from Kirat time. The settlements are called Gola, Dranga and Pringa. This is a small scattered settlement, Gola, and then it takes a form of a bigger town, and then Pringa is a larger town, just like Khopringa, Khopa, what we say, what you call Timringa, like Timi. Those are the bigger towns. So that is how they used to distinguish, and later we used to call it Desa or Day. Like nowadays, many people say that, okay, Khokana is a guy, Khokana Gaon, the Khokana, Khokanalai achal चाहिँ गाउँ भनेर भन्छ हैन, बुङ्गमतीलाई गाउँ भनेर भन्छ, गाउँ पञ्चायत भन्थ्यो. Actually, it is not village, it's a town. That is why we say in Newar language, what we say is Khona De, Bunga De. De भनेको देशको short form De हो. त्यसैले त्यसलाई टाउन भनेर बुझ्नु चाहिँ जरुरी छ. यो मैले म्यानेजमेन्टको एस्पेक्टबाट भन्दै छु. It's so important to understand that those are the towns. So yeah. So now let me talk a little bit more about this spatial function within the town. So within the town, placemaking in Newar towns is, as I said, there should be a demarcation between public and private. And what distinguishes, and that is what we call Pikhalakhu, this one. people going outside the home. It's a public place. So if you are going outside, if a woman has to go out, they will just pull their, the shawl to put in, so because they are going in the public. Or this line, this actually, this Pikhalaku, this mandala separates the house. Inside is their private, outside is that public. That is very much important. Whenever, if you see our mini rituals, our activities, you will just notice it that this separates public and private. And similarly, falta, no? These parties I just mentioned about. Even if this is the private property of this house, they are very happy to donate that for the public function. Anybody can go and sleep there. No, yeah, they can enjoy, they can rest, they can they stay there, play cards, whatever. Or the children plays, they do it. And similarly, the saga is a common courtyard, a small pit where the neighboring all houses throw their waste, and these waste are time and again collected after it is composted, and it is taken to the agricultural land. That is again a resource management aspect. And you see, the areas. In the Newar towns, if you, I don't know, many of you must have observed that in our childhood, we never go to our friend's house in the upstairs. We'll just go to the courtyard and they'll oh, friend, come outside, we would like to talk. And our meeting room is there. This is where we meet. We don't need the kind of a living room. That is a very modern thing for us. Our living room is that. Sorry, what happened? Our living room is there. Everybody comes, and nobody, I dare to go upstairs without, very hesitantly I will go upstairs in my friend's house. That's quite common because that's their private area, and this is our public area. So we don't need a big room, living room to meet our friends. And that is how that space is managed. And that is how, and otherwise, you see, all the people are just gossiping and doing that. The street space is already utilized so much, using the spaces. And as I said, it's a town is normally a gated town. And it is the gated town with hierarchy of roads. It is, you may not have observed that. Now you will notice there are several hierarchy of roads are there. Like you see, this hierarchy is with the space that is in a hierarchy. The highest level is Darbar Square, or what we call in Layaku in Newari. Layaku is the highest order of the square, and then the market square, and then neighborhood square, and then you have got a residential square. And you will say, I'll try to explain you why these are so different. You will observe that it's very interestingly, these hierarchy of the squares are being used for public purposes. Now, I have to give credit for this photo to our friend. Where is he? Min. Yeah, this is the photo from Min Bajracharya. So this is Kathmandu Darbar Square. So this is Kathmandu Darbar. You see that several of it's a nucleus of the town, and all the festivities has to start from there or end there or cross there. That has to be done. That is why that is important. As royal court there, that is why it is so important. And all major roads, major shrines are also there. एकदमै important मन्दिर हुन्छ त्यहाँ. त्यो मन्दिर चाहिँ एकदमै important हिसाबले हुन्छ. ल काठमाडौँको, let me ask in Nepali to my colleagues, what is the most important temple in Kathmandu Darbar Square? Maru Ganesh, yeah? Taleju is there. Taleju is dedicated by the king. The king thinks that it is the highest and tallest and biggest and whatever. But for people, the small temple, even without that, what you call pinnacle, no? without pinnacle, and that in a corner, that is the most important. So in Newar culture, it is not important by size, it is important by belief, how people respect that. So here also, you see all those things. And the most interesting, fascinating thing here is, if you have ever thought in that way, I don't know, you must have observed, you must have walked through this road several times, I don't know how many times. But if I walk here, when I reach from Makhan, when I reach to this place, what I see is I am just attracted by a big temple, Taleju temple. I see nothing. I am so much impressed with this temple. And then little bit I go, then I forget about temple, and I'll see something here, Mahadev temple, right? They call it Pashupati also, the Mahadev temple. And then once we cross the Mahadev, then comes the what you call the Kal Bhairav. You see Kal Bhairav, you see nothing, Kal Bhairav. And after crossing Kal Bhairav, you see this big bell, and on the other side, the entrance of what you call Hanuman Doka. Then you cross it, you see another temple and another temple. Every time when you see in front, you forget about what you have seen back there. So that kind of excitement is always there in the streets while you are walking. And you continue that, you go up to the end, you'll see all those changes. That is the, if I have gone several times to Paris, the boulevards are so impressive, so big. So what? It's monotonous. Now, here monotony is not there. That is the beauty of these towns. I'm sorry, that is good for several other reasons, but if you see from and this is the lesson I think the architects should learn from our township, how to make the towns, not that gridiron pattern things. It's something else that gives life. We are talking about living city, living town. So, and that is also for what you call, this is Bhaktapur and this is Patan. And you will always see these double E's there for the performance. Steps of stone, the temples are already the place where you can watch the functions that is happening. Now coming to the market square, it is not like that all the streets, but there are major two streets will be crossing that. Now whether you go to, this is I think Dattatreya square, or you go to the Sundara Nuga in Patan here, what you see is there are two major road crosses, and there is a open space where many festivities takes place. But this is not necessarily for the whole town, but more for the local people, right? This market square, and this market square you have got all selling and buying out, vegetable buying, vegetable selling, and everything other activities also happens there. But during the festivities, these are also equally important places where the double E's and also sort of those things are there. So if you see in Lalitpur, now this is the market square, and you can see several of, this is the Darbar square, and there are several of these market squares. Now, with that, we again come to neighborhood, or the toll, or in Newar we call it Twa, right? The toll squares. And in these toll squares, it is very difficult to distinguish which toll starts where and ends where. It's really difficult. I tried once when I was introducing the metric addressing system in Kathmandu metropolitan city. It was really a difficult thing. But there's a very interesting demarcation, and that is what they call this Ganesha. It is called Sthan Ganesh, right? Sthan Ganesh means the Ganesh of that place, meaning that every household who, when they have got their wedding ceremony and they bring their bride to home, then if they go and respect this god, meaning that is from that toll. So this is one of the indicators. But if you see this Nani and all this road going there and expanded and again narrowed down, these kind of things you can see in many places. Widened road, large courtyards, or cluster of courtyards. And these beings more. And normally we used to have satal, what do you call party or satal, the public building there, and Sthan Ganesh, as I said. And this is actually, there is a very good book written by Mohan Murthy Panta, and it's about Timi. I have borrowed that from that book, and he has tried to go each and every house and try to see who are living there and who belongs to which neighborhood and all. And these different colors shows that different toll or the neighborhood, and that is how this can be distinguished. Or I was trying to show you, even if this house is next to this doesn't. This house is next to this house, but this is another toll and this is another neighborhood. And so many things differs once that they are from the different neighborhood. Like, let me show you. Like this, the upper one is one neighborhood, and this is the middle neighborhood, and here comes the lower neighborhood. That is Marutwa, and this is Dachutwa, and that is Inayatwa. The toll is different. The main road is here. The main road doesn't distinguish the neighborhood. So this is how the settlements are formed in Newar towns. Sorry, what happened? Oh yeah. And within that toll, we will still have what you call the residential squares, like this. So there are so many residential squares. And let me come to another type of public space that is so important, and which the cities in Kathmandu has lost quite a lot. That is what we call kyo or khel, or the open ground. Normally every city, every town will have their open ground next to it, and that open ground has a ecological responsibility to be fulfilled for the town. And this is just like, it's like a lung of the compact settlement. And now in the earthquake of 2015, all people were living here. If this ground would not have been there, then we can think. It's not only these people, even since the such ground is not there in this expansion on the other side, in the eastern side, from Ghattekula people were coming here to stay during the earthquake, because they don't have cure. But in Kathmandu, they have this, and it is not only in Kathmandu, in Patan, you have got Jaula Khel, you have got Lagan Khel. No, there are even this place, where this building is? This building is in Bolakhyo. No? Bolakhyo is a khyo. Actually, now we have encroached it and built this gigantic building. But this is an open space of that time. So, and the main purpose of this is recharging the ground. It's an open space. It's a grazing yard, right? So, the recharging function, you normally find water bodies there. Here and there you will find the water bodies. And why this is so important is, it is a part of the whole ecosystem. And now these are about the spaces. Now I will try to go little bit on, not much on this resource management. Resource management, the agriculture is so important. And for this agriculture to conserve that, as I said, showed you earlier, there was the settlement is there and the agricultural land is next there where that can be easily irrigated. So this is how this irrigation and these things takes place. So land management is an important component there. Energy management equally important. How we conserve, how we use passive solar design. As an engineer and architect, people can understand how these clustered settlement, you still enjoy sunlight. That is very important. And water management and waste management. And we not only serve ourselves, we also serve the birds. And you have got Kagtihar, you have got Pyagutala bhat khwaune bhanera byacha nakyau bhanera आउँदैछ हैन. Even for the frogs, they have got the days in our towns that they offer food for the frogs, because they support in the ecosystem. And You have got in Tihar. Most of the time people think about Tihar, very enjoy that. But have you ever thought about why these fruits are there? These are our indigenous fruit. Unfortunately, now it is being replaced by new, exported varieties, and everything is coming up. But you see that that sati base, right? Small, what you call, katus, how you call that, walnut. And all those things are our traditional food, and that is being conserved into this system and into our culture. So it is the culture which is conserving all those type of thing. Let me not go to this energy. It will take time. Let me now come to participatory part. I think this is the one which you would like to like most, going through your the title of the course that is going on. That is participatory management in Newar towns. One problem with the Newars is they do not say things directly. Even if you are hungry, you will never say, I am hungry. So they will say that, okay, you want to eat something? No, it's okay. Then you have to force 3 or 4 times, and they will say that, okay, let's do it. Right? So I think it is more with the Newars, right? Without that, they will not say. Even if you are hungry, they will say, no, it's okay. So, but they do not only that, there are several other cultural practices that you don't say directly. If you say that, okay, go and do this, then, oh, you are ordering me. But if you say something in different way, oh, you will be so happy to do that things. And that is where this, the festivals comes in, public management. First is, beliefs are converted into rituals to manage public goods. The beliefs, right? Second is, volunteerism is not sought in operation and management. Voluntarily, oh, you are so happy, I would like to contribute. They do that, but that is not sustainable. That would be the one-time job. So to make it sustainable, volunteerism is not sufficient. That is what the Newars understand. And third is, community feelings are developed and maintained as per the service level. I'm talking about as per the service level. So I'll talk about that service level little bit later. And then competition and enjoyment are knitted into the duties and responsibilities. So there are competitions, you perform as a competitor, but you are doing something else, right? You are serving the community. That is what is inbuilt in the Newar culture. And of course, when I say belief, this is an example. This is a handwritten, the sketch from the handwritten book, where you see these 2 hands saying that you are not supposed to open inside this. And that belief is so strong, people say that if you go inside, they have given this for a good reason. They are saying that because this is so complex structure, don't open that. That was the meaning. But what they do is, since that hand is there is a belief that, okay, if I open, I will I will die vomiting blood or something like that, right? So they never dare to open it up. Like that, those kind of beliefs are being built in the community. Or you see, this is a handwritten, this is a, how you call it, tamrapatra, copper script of Alcohiti, where it's written that you are not supposed to do this and that, and everything is written. And if you do that, the serpents will get angry. Basuki Nag will get angry, and you will be losing everything. Yeah, and you will have that sin, not only for this generation, for 5 generations, something like that. So, and people believe that, and they do not do bad things or incorrect things. And one king did it. And that is what I'm trying to show you. One king did it. The story goes like this. You know Pratap Malla, Nepalese guys, they all know Pratap Malla from Kathmandu. And he wanted to conquer Bhaktapur, and he went to Bhaktapur and start fighting with the Bhaktapurians. And then, but he could not get inside the wall. It's a walled city. And he tried and tried and tried, and after 3 months, he was so fed up and he gave up. And when he was coming back, he destroyed the pond and there was this what you call Yoshi. I don't know how you call it in English. This kind of post was there, and on top of post there was what you call the sculpture of what you call a Naga, and that he took it and came to Kathmandu. Many people think that Pratap Malla built Rani Pokhari because to please her wife, right? And why her wife was in sorrow? Because her 2-3 sons were dying one after another, and to do that, why he is building Rani Pokhari is actually he destroyed the pond in the Siddhapuhu and took all these things, and this is in Kathmandu Darbar Square. He put that he looted this, and now he erected here. Then when his son one after another start dying, he felt that okay, the thing written here is pretty correct, so I should be, I should do something good for that, and that is why he built Rani Pokhari. So these beliefs are so strong, that is what I'm trying to say. Well, now talking about public management, there are 3 levels of management: family level, community level, and state level. Let me go with that. At family level first. So, at utilizing the belief system, right? Nag Puja, pleasing the serpent, Chema Puja, these are a very common thing for the Newars, and not only for the Newars, many of the Nepalese, other ethnic groups are also practicing that. But I give you my story. When I get ill, when I was a kid, my mother used to take me to somebody who knows these things, right? Guvajukan lier jantyo, and Guvajukan lier gaisikeपछि they will say that, and Guvazu does all those hanky-panky things, I don't know what, and he will say that, oh, you have got a Naga dos, you have got a curse of Naga, if I translate it correctly, I don't know how it is called. And then what I need to do is going back to home, and my mother would be telling me, shouting at me, saying that you must have pee next to the water bodies. And that is what, on those days, the major diseases are waterborne diseases, right? And you have to take care of water bodies. You clean it up. That is what we do. And this is what they are doing here. This is cleaning, and to to please the Nagas, we put this serpent type of things, and we try to clean it up. And nowadays people forgot all those things, but just the puja is there, but cleaning is okay. That's that. But that is how the family used to take responsibility of managing the things. And another very important thing is this Digu Puja. We call it Digu Puja or Degu Puja. It's a Degu Puja. That is what I was explained. What is Degu Puja? I think many of you know that, but let me try to explain little bit from the different angle. These two terms, De and Gu, is De means Des, means a town, right? And Gu is a forest. The forest of the town, the puja that happens in the forest of the town. So Degu Puja is every caste, every clan will have their own Degu Puja. And that Degu Puja, that is normally a ground, a water body, and a surrounding area. Like if you go to Tuni Khel, if you go to Lagan Khel, if you go to any of the khels, you will find those kind of things, right? And there, actually this puja is, in my understanding, is nothing but conserving these areas. You are not supposed to do anything there. You go, you pray, you worship, and you come. And when you do that during the driest month of a year, and you go there, you do that. And you are not supposed to construct anything. The God, the Newars are so good in making sculptures, but in their own Degu Puja, they do not have sculptures. They will have just a stone from a river. No? At most, they will have something of these, what do we call, toran, right? Nothing more than that. And even that is is so ecologically correct that even that this stone can stop the flow of the wind. That is why they have got small holes there. हामीले के हनुमान छिर्नु पर्छ, वायु छिर्नु पर्छ भनेर पाल एउटा चाहिँ राखेको हुन्छ। यो के पनि छेक्नु हुँदैन भनेर पाल एउटा चाहिँ राखेको हुन्छ। भनेको मतलब के हो नि, त्यहाँ कुनै यसो कुनै मन्दिर यत्रो बनाउन सक्नेहरूले, यत्रो मन्दिर बनाउन, 5 तल्ले मन्दिर बनाउन सक्नेले आफ्नो देव पूजाको लागि एउटा मन्दिर बनाउन सक्दैन? सबैले गर्थ्यो होला, तर नो, गर्न पाइँदैन। किनभने यो चाहिँ प्राकृतिक रूपमै छोड्नुपर्छ, यो प्राकृतिक रूपमा राख्नुपर्छ भनेर यस्ता खालका कुराहरू हामीले गर्थ्यौँ हैन। अब तर अब अनफर्चुनेटली अब अहिले त मैले भनिहालेँ दिस इज अ ख्य। अनि यहाँको मैले कथा सुनेको थिएँ, यहाँ कतिपयको पूजा हुन्थ्यो अनि यो ज्यापु यो गुठी के अरे यो बिल्डिङ बनाउने बेलामा त्यसलाई कतै अन्त सार्नुपर्ने अवस्था आयो। सार्ने र नसार्नेको बिचमा त्यहाँ निकै लामो झगडा पनि भएको थियो। पछि नगरपालिकाले पेलेर लगिदियो, सारिदियो। तर यो भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो कन्जर्भेसनको एउटा प्र्याक्टिस हो, how you conserve the things. Now, just 1 or 2 examples. Now, this is the place. This is the Newar in Patan. If anybody of you knows that, this is behind what you call the Patan औद्योगिक क्षेत्रको पछाडि चाहिँ Newar भन्ने छ। त्यो Newarको हो। अब यो Newarमा यसरी चाहिँ जबरजस्तीसँग चाहिँ यति राखेर सबै बाटो-साटो बनाएर पठाइदिएको छ। अहिले एउटा मुद्दा भइरहेछ। Sorry, I'll speak little bit in English, in Nepali. मुद्दा भइरहेछ के यवाहरुको चाहिँ हाम्रो गुठी हाम्रो देव पूजा गर्ने चाहिँ मिचियो भनेर अहिले तपाईहरुले सोशल मिडियामा देखिराख्नु भयो होला। यही ठाउँमा हो। यो भनेको यो ठुर भयो पुलचोकको, यहाँबाट झम्सीखेल जाने बाटो हो। यो सबै ख्य हो हिजोको। यो त मेरो विचारमा यो ठुलो हुनुपर्छ। यो राणाले दरबार बनाउँदाखेरि यो सबै मिचेर खाइदियो हैन। तर यो सानो टुक्रा हुँदाखेरि यहाँ पुरै देवाली गर्ने पूजा गर्ने ठाउँहरू छ। अब त्यो चाहिँ अहिले हुँदा त्यहाँ के होटल रेस्टुरेन्टदेखि लिएर सबै इन्क्रोच गरेको छ। जबकि यो एउटा प्राकृतिक रूपमा बचाउनको लागि राखेको कुरा हो हैन। अब अल्टिमेटली हेर्नुस् त यहाँ देवालले चाहिँ यहाँ रिटेनिङ स्ट्रक्चर बनाएर यहाँ सबै गरेको छ। यो चाहिँ त्यहाँ महालक्ष्मी थाननिर हिजो अस्ति भर्खर मेरो श्रीमतीसँग हामी गएको थियौँ। हेर्छु त यो बाटोमा यो एकदम अप्ठ्यारो भइरहेछ। अब यो कुन चाहिँ सिडिओ आउँछ अनि उसले भन्छ यो बेकारको यो के काम राखेर यस्ता 10 वटा छ लगेर अन्त राख्दैन भनेर भन्छ। तर यो राखेको कारण चाहिँ उनीहरूले बुझ्न सक्दैन। द अदर फ्यामिली प्र्याक्टिस इज अगेन पाँचअरे इज कमिङ very soon. In that festival, what we do is we call it Pichas Chaturdashi according to lunar calendar. And there what we do is Lukumadevko puja गर्ने भनेर भन्छौँ हैन। त्यसबेला what we do, we go to our courtyard, outside our house and try to find out the stone, and we bring the stone and we put it there and we worship. We put all those rituals, we offer these things, and then we have our feast. We remember that. But what we do not remember is why this was done at the beginning. It was done actually to clean up our courtyards. So as I said, the Newars do not like orders, right? Or ordered by some other people. So what they said, okay, one of the tantric at that time would have said that, okay, there is the Mahadev, the god is there which is being buried under the waste. So you have to take it out, clean up. It's a Mahadev, it's the god. So you have to take it out, clean it up, and you do the rituals. And definitely, when they clean it up, meaning they are cleaning their courtyards. So that is how these festivals come up to clean up the area. And now coming to community level management, place to make community living. To make a community living, as I said earlier, Falcha, it's a community living, even if it is a private. And if you see the day, the whole hours of a day, if you divide it into morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever, you'll see that the children are playing there. And after some while, when there is a sun, the elderly will be basking there, sitting in the sun, as you see everywhere. You will not see in any of the cities in the world, as far as I know. I have been to many cities, but you don't find these kind of places where people bath, people talk, and it's a private land given for the public purpose. And then in the evening, again, you have got a bhajan in the same party. So same place is, and again, if the women has to wash the clothes, they will come here, put their water, and they do that. And if they need to, dry their grains, they will do that. No, all these multifunctional, multi-purpose use you will see in the community. And very interestingly, I noticed this. This is my wife. This is my small kid. Now she's big enough. She's no more with us now. But I while preparing this slide, I saw this picture, and I didn't, with purpose, I did not take this photo for that purpose, but what I noticed is, oh, there's a small hole here, right? That hole, this is from Bhaktapur. You see that hole? And this party is not only for human beings. This is for the dogs to sleep, right? These are for the dogs to sleep. So we are leaving the organisms all in harmony. That was seen in our earlier town. And you see that this is from Kokana. So every courtyard, every place, people are playing, working, whatever they need to do, all things are done in public. So Newars are famous for doing things. It's a public space management is so important. Now during the festival, these EEs will be used for the performances, demonstrations, performances, and during the time of harvesting, they are drying their grains. Oh. Nowadays, I think they would like to take it out because the car doesn't go straight and sort of things happens, but that is the case. And another is very popular. Now tomorrow is the day, what we'll say, World Water Day. For the Newars, for the Nepalese, it is not tomorrow is the water day. We'll have Siti Nakha actually is our water day, where all the community comes together and start cleaning wells, cleaning hitis, and everything that is done. That's community. Nobody is paid for that. Nobody is requested for that. They all gather, they come together and try to do that. And they believe that there is this is what they call Kumar. They call it Kumar Shashti, right? That's the birthday of Kumara, and Kumara is a god of rain. So that's the baby of rain. So Kumar Shashti is actually, they say, Dharankusha. Dharankusha means, Dhara means rain or water. Ankush means it's a seed. It's a seed of rain that starts from that day. And after that, there will be no, festivities for the Newars for, I think, 2 months, right? That's the time of plantation. So no more, rituals and all those things. You have got the time to work in the field. And this is how it is done. And otherwise, we have got the Guti system. The Guti system is a system where people do not believe their sons and daughters, but believe in community, and they they donate it to the community to establish, to do certain functions, be it a puja, be it a management of a temple, maintenance of a temple, maintenance of a hiti, whatever. So this is how, once I have got, let's say, 10 ropanis of land, let's say the half a hectare of land, then I will give that in that guti, or it's a kind of trust where we donate that to the trust, and once it is donated, it is public, it's not private. And even my son cannot say that, okay, my father gave it, so I would like to take it back. They can't say that. That is how even this Guti system is coming from the time of Lichibi period. I don't know, even it was there in Kirat period, but from Lichi period, with the inscriptions, we can say that that system was already there, and it is still surviving. And another important point is, when I talk about public places, is Chapa. This is very much I observed in Patan. I don't know much in Kathmandu or Bhaktapur, but in Patan, although this picture is from Bhaktapur. These are, I think this is also from Bhaktapur, and this one is from Patan, from Chasal, very nearby place. And this chapa is party and chapa, phalsa and chapa. There's a difference is chapa is double storied or multi-storied, party is single stories. But here the community owns that. And this is such a strong asset for them that unites the whole community. If they have got a wedding ceremony, they have got I don't know, there's so many other functions, they will have feast here. So, but nowadays even in Patan, the community feeling is much more stronger compared to Kathmandu. It's mainly, in my opinion, it's mainly because of this chapa. This chapa owned by them, and where they have this unity. And nowadays in many places these has been replaced by multi-storied structures, and then again they rent out some spaces. The earnings are utilized for public purposes, right? That is how these chapas are done. Now at the end, the state level management, managing the upstream elements, meaning when you have, for example, if there is something happening in my family, I will be responsible. If something is happening in my neighbor's family, they will be responsible. But if there are some common things we need to do, the community has to be responsible. But if something to be done, here we are in what's called Chasal, but something has to be done in Mangal Bazar, nobody would be responsible, would be interested. The interest level will be very, very low to go and work for Mangal Bazar from Chasal. But there are many things that has got an impact on the whole town, whole city. Then at that level, then we try to get the collective responsibilities, and that is where comes these managing the upstream elements. Like for example, the Rajkulo, the irrigation canal, that need to be mended, that need to be maintained. If you need to maintain that, not a single community would could do that. It's such a big, huge task. So the whole community has to go, the whole town has to go to maintain that. So in that way, if you see that these state level management practices, you can see. And for that purpose, many festivals are created. And these festivals is enjoyable, it is there, but mainly faith and beliefs are knitted into to make people come together to work on that. For example, Jatras, the festivities. What you see that this is in Tokha, or this is in Hanigaon, this is in Kirtipur, and this is in in Banepa, and this is in Kathmandu. So all these festivities, if you try to understand minutely, if you go inside, you will see some functions of managing the town. As festivity is there, you enjoy, that is different but in the meantime, you enjoy the thing. And not only that, for that purpose, there is a belief that our towns are protected by Ashtamatrikas. The 8 mother goddesses, they protect our town. And to do that, we have got, this is Thimi. In Thimi, we have got, not only in Thimi, in Patan, in Kathmandu, everywhere it is there. I'm just getting an example of Thimi, where we have got 8 goddesses, right? 8 goddesses in 8 corners of the town. And they believe that these goddesses protect us from external enemies. And we do have internal enemies also, like diseases, the fight between within the family or outside with the neighbors. And those kind of things are taken care by these goddesses. So they have these temples outside, their shrines, and they also have their dyoche inside the town, and where they also worship. So every god will have their temple outside, goddesses will have temple outside and also a shrine inside the temple. And that is how these Ashtamatrikas are protecting and that is the belief. And what they do is, during that time, during this festival, they start cleaning when the festival is going to start, maybe after 15 days or month early they start managing, cleaning up the roads, because this is going to be big festivities. They maintain that road, they maintain their walkways, they clean up the drains and everything. Whatever they need to do, they do it voluntarily. There is no need to say, the municipality doesn't need to say send sweepers to do that. They do it in their own community, they will do that. And that is how the towns are managed. And you see, this is very interesting that they go with chirag, with the torch. They have got this evening or night festivals. They go in 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, they have to go to the temple. So they go with the torches, right? It is not only managing the city, it is also protecting the city. On those days, there is no paid armies. Regular armies were not there. All the youths are the armies. They used to have fight with another community, another town. So this is a kind of rehearsal of those fighting. So you go with these torches, and in some places what they do is they will have different types of what you call music instruments. But in some states what they do is they perform, they play not the rejoiceful inside the songs or the musics. They go with the music of dead body, right? As if that somebody is dead and they are taking that dead body. So all those practices are a preparation for the what you call protection war for the youths. Those kind of things happens. If you go more inside, I don't have much of the time, so I will not explain. I can't explain much on this. But that is how the towns are managed. Okay, okay. So that is what I say. Annual cleaning and weeding and seldom visited outskirt area. Otherwise, they do not go there. So for these festivities, this is then maintained, and maintenance of walkways, trails, and the temples, and all those infrastructures. They do that, and they bring people together, and they forget their differences. This is how is just giving you an example again of the theme of that 32 chariots. Do you know what are those these chariots? Which gods are there? Almost all of them are Ganesha, meaning their Sthan Ganesh. The 32 tolls are there and 32 Ganeshas are coming there, meaning that they have to come up with their chariot. And there is a kind of competition among the chariots, who go fast, who go by, with a decorated this chariot and everything. There's a kind of competition. To do that competition, these people has to talk to each other, right? In their neighborhood. In the neighborhood, it is because of the neighborhood, always they will have some kind of issues and they fight. And they don't speak to each other. But these festivals bring them together. Otherwise, they can't pull this chariot by themselves only. So they forget about differences and they come together. And they'll say, uncle, they'll say, oh, my cousin, whatever they have to say, and they start coming in this chariot. That is how the community is, organized. And similar thing is there in Kathmandu with this, Upako. Or in Lalitpur, it is Mataya or Neku Jatra. It is hosted every year. In Neku Jatra is organized, the responsibility is taken by one toll to another toll. There are 8 or 10 tolls, they take responsibility. And what does that mean is, every time, if my toll is taking that, and I will try to do the best possible to have this jatra very much successful. To do that, we try our best, and that kind of competition is so good for the city management that you don't have to say anything. Nowadays, if the municipality start distributing money, they will say that, oh, that toll got this much and we didn't get, and that kind of things start coming up, dividing. But here, they take their responsibility and they will say that, okay, my son-in-law is going to come, their family, the son-in-law, their family is also coming there. If they come to my, my toll, and if it is ugly, dirty and whatever, then that is a shame for us. So let's try to do best in my turn. And that is how they make these festivals more rejoiceful, more clean, more better. And this is the, in Kathmandu, this is the actually the real old original boundary of Kathmandu. They go all around. And when they go all around, that means every year they do that. And if there is something broken, and it will be their responsibility to manage that. And that is how they do it. Now, coming to, again, some rejoiceful thing. We say, kahin nabheko jatra हाँडी गाउँमा. हाँडी गाउँमा जात्रा चाहिँ गजबकै हुन्छ. कहिले चाहिँ उल्टो रथ लान्छ यहाँ लगेर त्यो पोखरीमा लगेर पुरै रथ लिएर चाहिँ मान्छेहरू चाम्प्लाङ चुम्प्लुङ गरेर जान्छ हैन. कहीँ नभएको जात्रा भनेर अब हामीले नबुझ्या मान्छेहरूले त भनिरहेको हुन्छौँ. त्यो जात्रा चाहिँ किन गराएर छ त्यसरी भन्ने कुरो चाहिँ यदि खोज्ने हो भने that would be very interesting. That is, they bring this into a pond. The pond that is man-made pond. Almost all of the pond in Kathmandu Valley, except few like Nagda or the Tauda, if you leave that, then almost all of the pond or the tank, how you call it in English, are man-made. These man-made ponds has one difficulty is it need to be watertight, and to make it watertight, they do some functions. Now we see only this jatra. They say that the ornaments of the one of the goddess was lost here, so they need to go and find out those the ornaments. That is what the Gahana Khojne Pokhari, that is what they say. But what they do is actually they are maintaining that pond. They are maintaining that pond, meaning how they are maintaining that pond is, I don't know in your countries for the other colleagues how you do rice plantation. You have got rice plantation. In rice plantation, for rice plantation we have to have a standing water. Otherwise, rice is actually the wetland plant. So it has to have a rice the standing water. In rice plantation, what we do is, we play with mud, water, and whatever. It's not just for enjoyment. Actually, what we are doing is we are trying to keep the water standing. When you mix water with clay, then it forms such a thin film on the top surface beneath the water that it retains the water. It doesn't allow the water to infiltrate, percolate easily. And that is what needs to be done to keep the pond throughout the year standing water. And that is what they are trying to do. And not only that, in Kirtipur also they do that during the time of Gai Jatra. And you see, this is from Hari Siddhi. In Hari Siddhi, they do this. They say that from Phulchuki Mai is coming down, and they say that Basundhara Mai is coming up, and these are the senior most people of Hari Siddhi, and this is called Japuhu at the center of the town. And in this pond, first these old guys swim in, and then they allow other youths to swim in, and they swim from all directions. They mix the water in such a way that after all the pond is stagnant, and then the water is retained there. And not only that, here this is again in Kisipidi. If you know Kisipidi, on the way to Thankot, you know Gurjudhara. Next to Gurjudhara, there is a settlement which is responsible for taming elephants. So it is their town. What they do is they have got different story there. They say that the Lakhe need a blood of blood of a chicken or a roaster. And what they do is 1 or 2 days before, there is a Kapali community who comes and they stabilize the pond, and they are not supposed to touch the water until the Lakhe comes. And on the day of Gai Jatra, the Lakhe comes, and they were sacrificed with this two rooster, and their blood, when it is poured into this pond, and it is allowed to touch the water, and all the youths, they jump into the pond to swim. And that is how they manage their pond. And same thing is here in Mataya. You go to Prayag Pokhari, right? And they say that you have to cross that pond, you have to enter into the pond. That is what they say, because त्यसले के भन्छ अब I don't know how to translate in English. They say बैतरणी तर्ने को लागि त्यहाँबाट जानुपर्छ भनेर प्यापोखुबाट जानुपर्छ भन्छ. अनि यो प्यापोखु, unfortunately they have now plastered and done all hanky-panky things there, but still that is how people are moved into the pond to manage that. Let me see. Oh, okay. There are few others in Kokona, in Timi, in Bode, and there are many other settlements. They have got these kind of things. And if in Bhaktapur, on the Gunpuni, that is the full moon day, the Janai Purne in Nepali, what they call. On that day, full moon day, they go to wash 9 hitis. They say Gupu hiti sike Gujatra, and all people goes to visit this. Meaning that maintaining those hitis. And in Kathmandu, Sundara, many people think that we all was taught in the school that Bhimsen Thapa built this Sundara, and that is not true. That is not true. I can give you several other reasons, but here it is. In Maru there are what you call the Manandars are there. The Maru Manandars has to go on Baishakh Egate, the first day of Baishakh. They go to Basundara and pray there. They worship there and come back, and they take bath in this hiti, and then only they can go back home. That is how it is. The intangible heritage is, intangible practices are protecting these things. And there are many. I will not go to all this, but there are annual, triannual, 12 years festivals of water management, water shrine. Visiting these water shrines are there, like Kumbeswar festival here, Lutipuni in Balaju festival, the full moon day in Baishakh, and similarly there are many like triannual in this Matsegao, and similarly 12-year festivals in Godavari, Panauti, etc. And among that, the largest is the festival of Bungadeo, or Machendranath Jatra. And in this Jatra, what they say is, this happens in Baishakh Jet. It's coming up pretty soon. And in the spring time, in the dry period. And in that dry period, what they say is, to start this festival, all strategic pond, it need to be filled with water. And during the dry period, how can you fill water in a pond? It's not just possible. There is no rain. But what does it mean is, as I said, the Newar doesn't say directly. What they mean is, you clean up the canal that is bringing water to these ponds, so that people from this Nuga, from Sundara, and all people goes up to Tolaiti to clean up every year. They used to do that practice was there until this ring road was constructed. Now after ring road, they have already not practicing those practices anymore. But that is how people are mobilized to manage these festivals. And they are giving, it is so participatory. There is a day the women will pull this chariot. And there are several other each and every caste and creeds in this town are involved in the making of this festival. So that is how this festival is a very longest festival also, and people believe on that, they enjoy, but in the meantime they manage their towns and cities through this enjoyment. Last is again is the what you call, when you have these festivals and this, but you also have auditing. Did you did well or not? Right? That is very interesting thing. The auditing of the festival. You know, auditing in the government. You know, if you spend something that at the end of the fiscal year, the auditor comes and says that okay, you did this thing right or wrong and whatever. And similar thing is done also in the festival, auditing of the public event. Of particularly that Machendranath Jatra, that is done in Tika Bhairav, Batuk Bhairav temple, where these are the priests. The priests, they do what they call the Mangsahuti Yajna, And in that yajna, they have this guy is, there's a pot in his hand, there's one pair of fish is there, and there is, if you see, there's a small cage there. Inside the cage, there's a pair of birds are there, right? Pair of bird is there. And he says that, okay, I have done my best to make it successful. I haven't taken any personal advantage, whatever he tells in front of this temple. And ultimately, he says that this year the festival was quite successful, and whatever here in a decorative words he has to say, he will tell that this is the head of this priest, and he read it out. And then once he read it out, and that is that, and the bird is left, released to send that message to the heaven in the sky, and the the fish is left in this pond. Unfortunately, this is the enclosed one. This is going to be rebuilt again. That's a good part of it. But it is released to send the message to the underneath the earth. I don't know what is the term in English. The पातालमा चाहिँ खबर पठाउनको लागि छोड्ने चलन छ. र लास्टमा what went wrong, what we learned. के भयो त? यत्रो सबै मैले कथा भने, अब के भयो त भन्दाखेरि, something went wrong long time back. It's not today. And the first thing, in my opinion, is something done during the Saha dynasty, particularly the Ranas. We have got that conservation concept, the concept of town, making town, that you live in a cluster, leave the agricultural land, and these guys, these rulers, they started making a big plot of their palaces, and they destroyed the ecological concept of the system, the whole township system. And these all palaces, they started encroaching. How big are they? I have calculated, I forgot the size, but whole Thimi town can be incorporated into Sinha Darbar, that big. Sinha Darbar is as big as Thimi town. So you think about the people who can live there, and a prime minister at the time can live there. So this is the problem, and at present survived as a ritual, and many of those understood as superstition. So okay, these are the superstition. रूढिवादी कुराहरु यस्ता खालका कुराहरु गरेर के गर्ने भनेर हामी जस्तो young generation चाहिँ we think that this is a stupid thing my mother is doing, my grandfather is doing, but we don't try to understand what exactly the story behind that. And what I'm trying to, these lectures, what I'm trying to tell you is, let's try to understand what is the things behind. There are superstitions are also there, but let's try to find out how that can be managed in the present time. This is one very good example. I don't want to lose. I really would like to tell you, Ghode Jatra. We all know Ghode Jatra just happened few weeks back. And no, it's coming up, right? Sorry. It's coming up. And in Ghode Jatra, what they do is, in Ghode Jatra, it's a kind of, actually that was a traditional festival there in Kathmandu, that you have got a horse and that is given some alcohol and they run and whatever they do. But that is the new king from the mountains. When he came, he wanted to show off. And what he did is, he used all his regular army to show off the strength. And they organized this whole Jatra. And actually, if you see, this is on this day, we have got a public holiday to observe this Jatra, right? The state sponsored Ghode Jatra. And who participates? All these army people, or the government officials and all. And sorry. But next to it, there is another Jatra. That Jatra is again Pahachare. The same time that is happening. That one, the state sponsored. Next. And you see the people is sponsored. All people are participating there with this red cap, yellow cap, green cap, I don't know how many caps are there. And these people they have got their own chariot, and they take their goddesses in the chariot and run here and there. They enjoy, they rejoice, they take part. But when the state did not include people, and then the state has to spend so much money every year, the state spends all this money to organize this festival. And what I'm trying to say is participation of people is so much important in city management. And if you do not make them participate, that means you lose it. So you have to do so many things in an artificial way, right? So after 1950, nobody dared to understand the philosophy behind the superb ecosystem city and tried to enhance it in the changed context. And unfortunately, I'm very sorry to show this picture, and this is Kathmandu. So we turned this beautiful land into this, and we converted Kathmandu into this thing. Now, what are the lessons we learn? The community involvement makes city owned by the community. City management becomes much more easier. You don't have to say, they will do it by themselves. And city becomes livable and vibrant. The challenge, however, is how to translate this approach in the new context, the present context, because the way of living has already changed. There are no more farmers. Now farmland has already turned into housing colonies. So how to translate that? That is a challenge. How to bring the youths here, right? So it's not only the traditional things. Now we have to go for these kind of dances. Where is the place for that? If the city doesn't provide, if the community doesn't provide, definitely people start feeling they are aloof, they are not integrated into the whole community, and that doesn't happen. But now, fortunately, these are things happening. These are the pictures of recent pictures. The women who used to just watch the the festivities from the windows, they do not dare even to come to the street. Now, they are the part of the whole function, right? You see the women drinking the beer in Kathmandu during Indra Jatra. It's so enjoyable. So there is not only the dark part. We do have a interesting things happening. And the lesson again I learned is this is next to my house, very close to my house on the river bank. What I'm trying to say is no iron bars. When we say public is public, you should not restrict people to go enter, enjoy it. Whether it is a pond, like what we have done in Rani Pokhari, all the fences, or where you do any of the places, any of the temples. Now so many, the politicians always have, oh, we have to protect it, so let's have a fence, the iron fence and this and that. I think that will depart community or people from taking part into the public, public activities. And this is, I just wanted to show that this was a very nice corridor on the river bank of Bagmati that was built. Now some guys has a idea that some people have just crossed this once or twice, and they think, oh, that's a very bad thing happening. And he added one more fence and tried to make it. You see how unattractive, how negative these farts are compared to the same place. So no more iron bars. I think that should be the approach the city should be taking. City management becomes easier. And the lesson, this is, I'm proud, I've got my friend also here. We used to work for Kathmandu Metropolitan City, and this mandala, there used to be the houses, Maitigar Mandala. We built it. When we built this, we have got in mind that this should be a public place. So no more fences, nowhere. You'll see no more fences there. So we don't want fence. Now this became one of the most democratic, stays for the people nowadays. If you have got something to shout, if the government is not listening, all people go there and start shouting. This is the democratic center that we have. We are so proud that we did that. People, okay, the thing that actually at that time, there was a fight between mayor and deputy mayor that whether we should put a fence or not, right? A long discussion that happened, and ultimately we could come up without fence. And now if you see that there are some, thorny plants has been planted again, unfortunately, in these days. But what we expected, it is just like a cure that need to be constructed. So this is how we try to address. After all, people have emotions, how to earn that trust. So address the youths, address the women, create space for participation, and how to utilize people's emotion in city management in present context. That is, I'm not answering that, that's a question to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, PS sir, for that excellent telling of history, and as it encounters the present time as a matter of both conflict and continuity. And if we were to identify some of the critical performers in the play, who or what would they be? And how is the identity of these performers themselves changing over time? So those are the three somewhat convoluted questions for you. But here we go. Yes, okay.
Oh, thank you for that's such a difficult question. Actually, I don't have answer for that, but I try. Well, you know, as I see towns every time, like a few days back, not even last week, right? We have this Samyak here. Every 5 years that happens. The whole pattern was enjoying with that Samyak. So all people are involved. The involvement of people, that doesn't matter. But if you can smile, you can enjoy the thing, that is the most important thing. Now, the city, whether you talk about Kathmandu, Patan, Bhaktapur, you call it Techo, Thachi, Thali, Timi, whatever, all those names, you'll find their places for performance. No? The stage is already prepared. The only thing is you need to act. And to act, you need to mobilize people. As I said, don't order them. So, okay, you go and perform this. That's not going to happen. You try to create the thing, they will definitely do that. So, it's a performance is always there. But when I say performance, now it's not only the youths. Now, as our society is slowly, gradually aging, the old people, they really need. I'll tell you one story about one of my relatives who lived in Lalitpur, in Patan, near to the, in Bakumbal, let's say, that is next to the Darbar Square. And he got ill. He has to go for this, I've been continuously provided with this oxygen aid. And this big oxygen cylinder bringing inside is so difficult. He has 3 sons, and 2 of the sons are living outside the town. And because in these falta and all, they stayed, they gossiped, they talked, and after 4-5 hours staying there, he was so happy, he went back. And on that day, he passed away. You see, the feeling of people, of the place is so important. Now, if you respect that feeling of those communities, that is very much important. And that I'm talking about the communities, I'm talking about the age group of the late, right, the old ones. I'm not talking about only those. You people, myself included, if we have those kind of rejoicement in this town, then I will expect the same in the coming years. So let's combine that youth and the old together into the town. Just have a performance that is related to them. That could be in the music, that could be, you know, the bhajan that we do in the evening. I think that will make the city rejoiceful. And I think, I don't know, if I answered your question or not, but that is what I feel about the towns.
Thank you. So now it's yours. Please feel free to ask questions, but I'll say this in the interest of time. Try to keep it short and try to make it precise. I'll take 3 questions at a time, and I'll start with you.
Architect and urban planner. Sorry, I was so I had to go somewhere else. Right now I had to be heading home right now, but PSR's presentation, it is always so interesting and I couldn't leave it. And I always had this question about Newar towns and plannings. So I'll try to keep it short. So all the Newar towns are not much Newar now because there's gentrification. In every Newar towns right now, Kathmandu, be it Kathmandu, Lalitpur, Bhaktapur, or even the satellite towns. So due to this gentrification, do you think that the placemaking can only be of those cultural activities, historical, that rituals and the traditions that we follow, or there can be some other activities or some new or noble approach in those placemaking? Thank you. That would be my question.
Really trying to look into its certain other significances. For an example, there could be some spiritual significance attached to it, to those rituals. There could be some superstitions as well, and there could be, I would say, some political or trade related significances as well. And what I've seen in your presentation here is, though it's really good presentation, but what you are mainly focusing is on the conservation side of it that are associated with the rituals. But when it comes in the topic of conservation as well, probably the idea of conservation has came in that time when we really had to think about the conservation. Maybe like 100 years back, 200 years back, we really do not have to think about the conservation as well. So this is my question.
My question is, I have very kind of belongingness for Falsa Sotal, and त्यो कुरा यति धेरै मजाले बुझ्न पाएँ that I have always admired Falsa Sotal and those private public spaces. But what I have also been noticing is, I will give 3 places of examples. इटुम्बाबाट हामी नर्देवी जाने बेला एउटा ठ्याक्क कर्नरमा देयर इज अ काइन्ड अफ, आई डोन्ट नो सुड आई कल इट फल्सा सतल एनिथिङ, त्यहाँ चाहिँ अब खानेकुरा इटली जस्तो बनाएको हुन्छ, वी पिक इट अप एन्ड वी गो. अनि अर्को यही हाम्रो पाटनको सौगलमा पनि छ नि, त्यहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो स्विट्सहरू मिठाईहरूको हुन्छ, त्यहाँ बनाइरहनु भएको हुन्छ भने. अर्को चाहिँ इट्स इन बाखा बजार ठिमीमा पनि, त्यहाँ चाहिँ अब नेवारी आइटम्सको त्यो पसलहरू सञ्चालन भइरहेको हुन्छ नि. सो are these places definitive यो नै यसको लागि पर्पस हो भन्ने हो कि, well, as like you said in your presentation कि these are the places for public purposes भनेर, but they have been kind of captured with the, is it that the context had changed कि, is there something that I am missing out?
We can't go behind, so we have to look forward. In that context, when we talk about festivities, I have written one article on this Indra Jatra. What I was saying there is, जो मान्छे इन्द्र जात्रामा रमेको छैन त्यो काठमाडौँमा जमेको छैन. इन्द्र जात्रामा रम्न नसकेको मान्छे काठमाडौँमा जमेको छैन. उसले बुझेकै छैन ए न्यारहरूले गरिरहेछ गर्न देऊ किन भन्नु पर्यो. आउन पार्टिसिपेट गर. नो, यु शुड open up to make them participate. That is for the Newar community, but for other community, they start understand and respect to participate. Both things has to be done. Let's not limit it ourselves, because now we can't stop. Okay, you are from mountains, you go out, you can't do that. So it's a different culture. If it is different, then you have to provide space for that. Having said that, we really need to think about this gentrification, particularly because of this economic dimension, right? Financially, it is
म सबभन्दा बढी कसले पैसा दिए त्यसलाई घर बेचेर हिँडिदियो, अब बस्ने मान्छेले बुझेको छैन। अनि त्यसपछि अब आउँछ त्यो गोलापुनीमा चाहिँ बिहान बाजा बजाएर गाउने 4 बजेदेखि मेरो निन्द्रा बिगार्ने भनेर ढुङ्गा हान्न बेर्छ होइन। त्यसैले त्यो एस्पेक्टलाई चाहिँ वास्तवमा कल्चरली कन्जर्भ गर्नको लागि टुगेदर छलफल गर्नु पर्यो कि यही गर भनेर रेसिपी चाहिँ मसँग नखोज्नु छैन, तर छलफल एटलिस्ट नगरपालिकाले त गर्नु पर्यो नि, वडाध्यक्षहरूले गर्नु पर्यो, टोलको मान्छेहरूले गर्नु पर्यो। कसरी बसाउने त, उसको प्रब्लम के हो त होइन। उसको गाडी नै त्यहाँभित्र छिर्दैन, ऊ कहाँ म यहाँ बस्ने भन्छ भने उसलाई त्यहाँबाट 10 मिनट पर चाहिँ गाडीको चाहिँ कुनै पार्किङको व्यवस्था पो गर्न सकिन्छ कि होइन। There was one time when the people who migrated from outside, from the downtown to, from the core area to outside, they wanted to come back when there was so much of insecurity outside. I'm talking about during the time of the Maoist insurgency. They wanted to come back because they are not feeling so safe. But in your town, what happened was in one of the place, there was one, I give you the example of the place, you know, Nyakachuka in Patan. Many people know that. Nyakachuka is a big courtyard and they do have this water system, water rationing system because of not having adequate water. They are supposed to start from this hour to that hour, and there was one guy who was renting a room there who happened to be from the chief district officer's office. He's some senior office there. He wanted to have water even beyond that time, and the local guy said no, and they had a fight. And after they had a fight, this guy is from the government. He brought all the polices and tried to take all those youths who were involved in that fighting to take to the police station. And there was a bell. They rang a bell, and the whole community came in, and the police jeeps, the vehicles has to run away from that. So that kind of security is there inside. Now, if you try to see that, show that how secured inside, how your old mother or father is just basking on the sun in Falsa. You don't find in my place in Baneswar or the Maharajganj or anywhere there in Kopandol, you don't find that. So if we try to show that, and that is possible, I think that much on that. And second one is, I didn't really understand the question Kapilji asked, that spiritual and, at least what I can say is, it is again conservation. Yes, I am from the conservation side. When I say conservation side, I'm not talking about living in the history. When I say conservation, try to learn all those good things from the history and try to think about future and try to live today. So conservation is definitely, if the stories that I told today, if that is interesting to you, if that helps to govern our towns, then we should not shy away to learn from that. Let's try to learn from that. The spiritual and superstitions these are very personal things also. So I think I leave that to the person who believes on that, how they believe. But in general, we are talking about conservation. Because we are living in a 2 millennium old towns. We are not living in a new town somewhere else. But this is the old town. Then if you want to live in the old towns, you have to behave like how that is demanded in old towns. Like you go to Paris or you go to, I don't know, the Venice and other towns, the heritage towns, you are supposed to do something what is demanded in that area. I think I go with that one. The third one is Prabhita Shrestha talking about Falsa. I don't know the 3 references you have given. I do not exactly know what that location is. But your question is, can these Falsa or the party, these rest houses can be used for private purposes, right? That is what I understand. Because somebody goes there and open a shop, maybe a snack shop, and he or she is occupying for long time. So as if it is his property. No, it should not be. It should be public. When it is public, people can come, they enjoy their snacks, they can sell there, whatever they would like to do, but it should not be occupied for the long time. Maybe
2 hours for vegetable selling, and rest of the time the elderly living there. And Lalitpur metropolitan city has rightly done that. If I recall one of the news few months back, that from Sundara to Tongal, all the falsas which were occupied for selling, vending the goods, they removed that and saying that this should be a falsa. I think we should go for that one. Okay.
I am from one of the beautiful city of beautiful place of Lalitpur, this Okubahal near Mahabuddha. Yeah, my question to PSR, first of all, I want to thank him. It's very good presentation. My question is, what could be the appropriate method to revitalize these core cities? We all said that they must be revitalized and they regenerate or something like that, but what could be the proper method for that? That's my question.
Before going to my actual question, I want to make a remark on the Chopa. This Chopa culture is, I don't know, what I felt like after seeing this presentation is like, these days maybe we want to live our life more lavish, and so we have been transforming our culture from Chopas to these party palaces. Yeah. So that is, I think, for the conservation initiative, it has to come within us by ourselves. So I'll go to my question. I was expecting in this presentation, I was expecting some views from about, these days now for last 10 years we have our directly elected representative in the community from within our community. We have our leaders. So in your presentation, what do you think in the process of this revitalization of these Newar towns, what I missed and what I want you to state your opinion on what should be the proper role of these directly elected representatives within the community. What they can do for these state managed state managed schemes that you showed. So I was wondering, yeah. So that is my question. What would be role of the leaders?
आजको कार्यक्रमको अन्तिम प्रश्नकर्ताको सौभाग्य चाहिँ मैले तपाईलाई सुम्पेँ हैन.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll be very concise. And the good thing is, it's not a question, but actually I just wanted to share my perspective. So, good evening everyone. My name is Krishna Kumar Moharjan. I am an architect and urban planner, currently working under the Ministry of Urban Development. So, I belong to this place, Patan, actually, from the Newar community. So, thank you, Joshi sir, for giving us the different dimension that which I have not explored before. So it is not a question, but I just want to share a perspective that everybody we are talking about how we can conserve now or how we can be better. So I think it's all about the belongingness. If I think that I belong to this ritual, this festival, if I belong to this place, then only we will have the feeling of conserving. So I think from our childhood, from the very early childhood, it should be enrooted in them that this place, this festival, this culture belongs to me. Then only we can conserve. That's all. Thank you.
I think revitalization, one of the big challenges the cities that the earlier town is facing is overpopulation. In 1969, Kathmandu Valley Physical Development Plan was prepared. At the time, the designer, the planner, suggested the government that this is overpopulated. So this needs to be corrected. You need to move the population outside. So this town needs to be conserved. 1969. And then again, there are so many studies. All studies would say that overpopulation the conservation is needed. But never happened. And what happened is, due to the recent development in this construction technology, you can go as high as possible. But when you go as high as possible, you can't widen your road as wide as possible. How can that be possible? This is, we are creating a kind of death trap. So definitely land use plan is one of the fundamental thing, and that is not only for the traditional towns, it is for all areas, all townships in Nepal. That is the most important thing that need to be done, and try to make the life differently livable. Nowadays, the motorcycles. Yesterday, I was with two of my Japanese friends roaming around Lalitpur. I was so disappointed. They were so disappointed that every time from this side the motorbike comes, from this side motorbike, and I'm trying my best to escape the main roads, trying to go into gullies, the nannies and gullies, and trying to do that. So that is one of the biggest challenges. So try to see if you want to revitalize, meaning how to reduce that pressure in this area. But there are many other things that can be suggested. That is one very important thing that need to be done. Second question is from Suraj Khanalji about the process of process of revitalization again, right? Again, and proper roles within the community. Well, before that, when you Janprathinidhi, right? Before that, when you talk about CIUD, I really would like to say that if in Newar towns they have got CIUD, the community building, let's put it this way, in a normal town. If you have got a community building, why the municipality is not investing on building a community building in other towns, outside the core towns? You know that community building is such an important component in community making, that if you have a community building, people are so much united. They live together, sit together, talk together, and try to come up with something new. So I don't think that community building like CIUD is only good for these traditional towns. It's equally good for other areas, newly built areas on that. But when you say the political representatives like say, what the role? They are doing, in a way, one very good thing is revitalization. To some extent, the public space improving part they are doing. But my suggestion would be more, let's invest on community, not the structure. They are more interested in making falsa, making this, making that. But the Guti is being destroyed, right? People are migrating out. How to keep them? Let's invest. If the Nagarpalika says, the municipality says that, okay, I want to invest on this, then if it is a construction thing, they will immediately approve it. And if it is going for the Guti or for a certain sort of tradition, conservation of tradition, training dance or the music instrument, okay, we need to think, so much money for that? But if there's talk about the falsa or hiti or paving the road, they will be much more happy to do that. I think they need to change it, invest on people. So it is more important to invest on people than infrastructure. And you know that none of these communities, even the community, always what they demand is, I want a paved road, I need a drain, I need this, all physical things. They never said that, okay, we are the community group and we want to do something together. And that part is missing. I think that is important part missing at this point of time.
Thank you. So, thank you all for coming. Unfortunately, we have to call it a day in the interest of time, and it could be raining outside.